Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Go Math Lesson 8.9. So we're going to learn how to measure things using a line plot. So it's going to be a brand new thing for you. And so get out your paper for Lesson 8.9, and we'll start with Jesse Bear and see what he has to say. What are you going to do, honey?
How can a line plot be used to show measurement data?
Hello! My friends and I come to the river to sail our toy boats. Sometimes we race them. There'll be a lot of toy boats today, and they all have different lengths. Click this boat to check it out. I wonder how I can show the measurements of all the boats. Maybe I can use a line plot to show the data about the boats.
Let's measure this string using an inch ruler and record its length. First, line up the left end of the string with the 0 mark of the ruler. Find the inch mark closest to the other end of the string. The end of the string lines up with 4 on the ruler, so it's 4 inches long. Now find the length of this string and record it. To start, line up the string with the ruler. Now find where the string ends. The end of the string lines up with the 3 on the ruler, so the string is 3 inches long. How are the lengths of the strings different? The first string is longer than the second string. The first string is 4 inches, and the second string is only 3 inches. This is a line plot. A line plot is a way to show data. The title of this line plot is Lengths of Pencils in Inches. On this line plot, each X stands for one pencil of a certain length in inches. These are the different lengths of the pencils. On this line plot, the shortest length you can show is 3 inches, and the longest length is 9 inches. How many pencils are 6 inches long? Correct! 3 pencils are 6 inches long. How many different pencils are shown in this data? That's right, 9 different pencils are shown in this data. Now let's practice with the personal math trainer. Now try your homework on your own.
Thanks for helping me use a line plot to show the measurement data for the boats. See you soon!
Boys and girls, you should have your paper in front of you. This paper that's Math Lesson 8.9. And we need to look at our essential question. How can a line plot be used to show measurement data? And you can say data or data, either one is correct. So what I would like you to have is an inch ruler. So make sure that you have your ruler. You made one, or maybe you got one at the store, and you're going to lay this down on top of your paper and measure these 3 lines. Okay, so the first line, now if you want to pause the video and measure it yourself, you could, but these are inches, and make sure that you're on the inch side of your ruler, because our next chapter we're going to be working with centimeters. Centimeters are very close together, they're very small, and the inch side of our ruler is more spaced out. So inches are about 2 fingers each, and centimeters that we'll be working on next will only be like 1 finger. Okay, so the first one we measured, and how many inches long does that look? Now, I know that it ends beyond the 4, but is it closer to 4 or 5? Yes, you are correct. It is closest to 5, so we're going to put a little 5 there. That is 5 inches. Okay, let's move our ruler down to the next little string. Do you think that's going to be more than 5 or less than 5? You're correct if you said less than 5. So let's see. Okay, we're just going to do what it's closest to. Is the end of the string closest to the 1 or closest to the 2? If you said 2, you are correct. So we're going to put a little 2 right there. 2. And let's move our ruler down to the 3rd string. Now the 3rd string, is the 3rd string longer or shorter than the yellow string? It is longer, but is it longer or shorter than the red string? It's shorter, yes. Okay, so this one's really right in between. This one's like 2.5. So you really could put 2 or 3. I'll just put 2 though, 3, because it is longer than that one. So, and your ruler, maybe this ruler isn't totally correct. So, because my math paper may not be the right size. So your math paper, my math paper is on a screen, and so it may not be exactly lined up with this ruler. So your ruler may measure differently, and if your ruler measures differently, please put that number in. Okay, so I'm just going to say 3. So you might get a different measurement at home, but the important thing is that you line up the very end of the string with the 0, or the very beginning of your ruler. On this ruler, it starts, the inches start right on that very first line, right there. That's where you want to line everything up. Okay, so going on to the next page, we're going to learn how to do a line plot. So this is what a line plot is. A line plot is a way to show data. On this line plot, each X stands for the length of 1 pencil in inches. So each one of these X's is a pencil. So if you have pencils, see, these are pencils, and you can see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 pencils in my hand. But on this line plot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 pencils on this line plot. And these represent the lengths of pencils in inches. So we have pencils that are 5 inches long. We have pencils that are 6 inches long. We have pencils that are 7 inches. We have pencils that are 8 inches. But we don't have any pencils that are 9, but we actually have pencils that are 10 and pencils that are 11. And our little cloud says, how many pencils are just 6 inches long? So we go to the 6 inches and we go up. How many, and these represent the pencils. So how many X's do you see? 2. 2 pencils are just 6 inches long. And how many different pencils are shown in this data? Well, we counted them and we came up with 9 X's. So now here's something for us to do. If you can go around your house and find 5 books, 5 different books, and your inch ruler, and measure and record the lengths of the 5 books. So I have 5 books and five books, and so we're going to measure those 5 books. So we'll give you a second to go find your 5 books, and you can pause the recording. Okay, did everyone find their books? I found some books. So my first book, oh, look at that, Minnie's Valentine. Okay, I'm going to measure the length of this book by lining up my ruler with the 1, or lining up the ruler so it starts with 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want to line up my ruler with the very edge of the book and see what number that comes closest to in inches. And here are the inches. So it ends about at the 8. So for my first book, I'm going to put 8. Now yours might be different because you're doing yours from home. So my first book is 8 inches. Okay, my second book, I'm borrowing some books from my granddaughters. And this book, if we look at the inches right here, ends right about at the 9. So my second book is going to be 9 inches. So I put a 9. And then my third book, okay, my third book, move this up a little bit. Here's my third book, and I'm going to lay my ruler on it and see right about where that ends right about closest to the 10. So look at that. We have an 8, we have a 9, and we have a 10. Some long books. Your books might be shorter. And it's nice if you get books that are different lengths. And here's my next book. As you can see, princess books. And I measure this all the way down to, wow, this one's pretty long. It comes almost to the 11. So I'm going to say 11 on this book. So put an 11 right there. If I can get an 11. Okay, move that over a little bit. 11. And my last book that I have, my Sophia book. So I line up my ruler and all the way down the bottom. What number does that come to? That looks like it comes to 11. And so I'm going to put an 11 right there. And then we're going to make a line plot. So now we're going to move down and make our line plot. So write a title for the line plot. So the title that we are going to write is right on this line right here. We're going to write lengths of books. So we're just going to take it from right up here. Lengths of books. There we go. And now we're going to put in the numbers. So our first book was 8 inches long, and we want to make these numbers in order. So even if you don't measure your books in order, you want to make the numbers go in order on your line plot. So I'm going to do 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm going to do 12, even if we don't have a 12. Okay, and then we're going to do some X's. So I'm going to see if I can draw some X's. So how many books did we have that were 8 inches long? Just 1. So I'm going to put an X. And how many books did we have that were 9? Just 1. So I'm going to put an X there. And how many were 10? Let's see, our third book was 10 inches, so we just had 1 X there. Each X represents a book. And then we had our fourth book was 11 inches. Oh, and our fifth book was 11 inches. And that is how and we don't have any that were 12 inches. And that is how we make a line plot when we measure things. So on our next page, you're going to have to round up some objects. It says to use an inch ruler and measure and record the lengths of 5 pencils in inches. So try to round up 5 pencils. I have 5 pencils, and if you can get pencils with different lengths, that would be perfect. So I'm going to line them up, and I'm going to measure the shortest one first. Okay, so my short pencil, when I measure it on the inches, it comes out to about 5 inches. So I'm going to put a 5 here, so that's 5 inches. My second pencil, let's see here. My second pencil measuring comes out to be about 6 inches. So I'm going to put a 6. Okay, and my next pencil is going to be this third pencil is also 6 inches. So I'm going to put a 6 there. And my fourth pencil this one's a little longer. This one's about 7 inches. So I have a 7-inch pencil. And then my last pencil, I found one that was sort of new. One of those kinds that that changes colors. Oh, it's pretty close to 7 inches as well. So I'm going to put 7 inches. So I don't have a lot of different lengths, but my smallest number is 5. So I'm going to put 5 there, and I'll put 6 and 7 and 8 and 9. Maybe you'll find pencils that are shorter or longer than mine. And then for our title, we want to put lengths of pencils. So we take it right off of here and we write lengths of pencils. That's our title. And then we're going to put X's. So our first one was 5. So we put an X for 5. And then our second one was 6. So we can put an X there. Our third pencil was 6. So we keep stacking up those X's. Our fourth pencil was 7. And our fifth pencil was 7. So there we go. So we had no pencils that were 8 or 9 inches long. But we can see that the most of our pencils were 6 and 7 inches long. And we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, altogether 5 X's. And so the next thing that you want to try to find around your house, crayons. Or if you don't, you can find something. So I'll give you a second to find your crayons. Okay, so I found 4 crayons. I tried to find crayons with different lengths. So I'm going to try to measure my shortest one first, just so that it'll come out. And I only need 4. Okay, so when I measure this little broken crayon, it measures about 2 inches. So I'm going to write 2. And then my second crayon, oh, it's another poor little broken crayon. And it measures almost 3 when it's lined up with the 1 on the end. And then it almost reaches 3. So I'm going to put a 3. And then I have a new crayon. And the end of this crayon is closest to 4. So I'm going to go ahead and say that it's 4. And I have another new crayon, and guess what? My favorite purple crayon, and it is also about 4. Okay, so now we're going to make our line plots. Okay, so here's our line plot. And remember, we want to start with a title. So our title is going to be length of crayons. So we can write that, lengths of crayons. And we have a 2-inch crayon. So now we're going to label the lengths. We have a 2-inch. That's a short crayon. We have a 3-inch. And we have a 4-inch. And we'll put a 5 here. But we may not even have a 5. And you can measure different things and do line plots. They're kind of fun. Okay, our first one was 2 inches. Our second crayon was 3 inches. So we put the X's represent the crayons, the number of crayons. And there was a 4-inch one and another 4-inch crayon, but no 5-inch crayons. So we can see that we had one crayon that was 2 inches, one crayon that was 3 inches, 2 crayons that were 4 inches, and we had 4 crayons all together. So we go on to the next page. For math on the spot, we're going to use the data in the list to complete the line plot video. 6 inches.
What would you like to buy today, huh?
Oh,
Huh?
no, thank you.
Oh, I have something for you. How about this beach ball?
Oh, Joey, I already have a beach ball
But
at
you
home.
can have a ball at the beach.
True, but like I said, I already have one. Thank
All right.
you.
Okay. Let's see what else I got in here. Oh, hey, how about this nice math puzzle?
Ooh, a math puzzle.
mhm.
Okay, well, how much does that cost?
That will be 1 apple.
Okay, let's read it.
Okay.
Okay, then I'll decide. Now, our problem states that we should use the data in the list, this list right here.
That one right there?
To complete the line plot.
Love it.
This is a line plot, and we're going to fill in the information right here. Okay.
All right,
Now,
fill away.
Fill away. A line plot is a way to show data. And this list shows data that can also be shown on a line plot. So what we're going to do first is we're going to title this line plot.
Okay.
All right, now take a look at the title of this list.
Lengths of ribbons.
That's right, lengths of ribbons. And the units in the data are inches. So we're going to use the title lengths of ribbons in inches.
All right.
All right, so I'll just go ahead and drag that on
Catchy
right here.
title.
Catchy. Lengths.
I bet I could sell it.
You think so?
I think so.
You can sell anything, Joey.
Thank you.
Lengths of ribbon in inches. Okay, now what? We're going to list the data from least to greatest, and that way we'll know how to label our line plot.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see. We have, what's the least number of this list? What do you think?
I think it's 5.
Yes,
What do you think?
exactly. The least would be 5. Good job. And what is the greatest?
It's the 7.
It's the
Did you
7.
say that?
Yes,
Yeah.
good job, Joey. That's right.
you.
Okay, now when we label our line plot, we always put the least number on the left and the greatest number on the right.
Okay.
So the least number is 5. That goes on the left, and the greatest number is the 7. And of course, we also have a value of 6 here. So we'll put the 6 in between.
That's perfect.
Yes, these go in order. 5, 6, 7.
Sure do.
Okay, now we're going to place an X where for each length in the line plot. You ready?
Good, oh, good, oh, good.
Okay, so let's go down the list. 6 inches, we'll put an X right there under 6.
Right.
Or above 6, I should say.
Yeah.
5 inches.
It's right over there.
Yep. And 7 inches.
Yep. Hey,
Over here.
hey, Professor Rena.
Yes,
look
Joey.
Look it.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
another 6.
There's another 6. So guess what? We're going to put the X right above.
2 X's on the 6 because we have 2 lengths of it.
That's exactly right.
Whoa, I get it.
He's so smart. Good job, Joey.
Hey.
All right, so that's it. That's all we needed to do. We have written out our line plot and labeled it correctly.
So I take it that you are interested in buying this math puzzle.
For an apple?
Yeah.
I think that's a good deal. Sure, I can buy this puzzle. Thank you very much.
Put it right there.
Okay, here we go.
Thank you very much. Now, aren't you forgetting something?
Thanks, Joey. Goodbye. Have a great math day.
Well, not quite that. You forgot to pay me for the answer. Let's call it, another apple. Yeah.
But I don't. I have to pay you for the answer too.
Of course.
I don't have another apple, Joey.
Well, how about an orange?
No, I don't have an orange either.
A banana?
No.
Some grapes?
No.
A watermelon?
No.
A cantaloupe?
No.
Okay, boys and girls, we are back to our line plot, and we just watched the Math on the Spot video. And so what we want to do is first put in our title, and our title is going to be just like the other ones. It's going to be lengths of ribbons. And then we're going to put in order from the least to the greatest. Let's see, which number should we put first? Let's see, it looks like 5 is our smallest number. So we'll put 5 here, 5 inches of ribbon, and then, oh, we have a 6, and we have a 7. So let's find out how many. Here's one that was 5 inches, so we put an X there. And then we have one here that's 6 inches. Okay, so we got 6 inches, 5 inches. Oh, here's a 7 inch. And oh, exciting, we have another 6 inch. So we put that up there. And so it looks like 6 was the most common length of ribbon. And you can do this with different items as well. You can make line plots for different colors of M&Ms or Skittles and just put the colors down here and then put the X's above, or different lengths of different objects. And then the last thing that we have for today is Sarah made a line plot to show the data about the length of leaves. Is Sarah's line plot correct? Tell why or why not. Okay, so she has 4 inches, 5 inches, 3 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches, 4 inches, 5 inches. Okay, so she has 1 3-inch, so we can go ahead and put a little cross that out, 4 inches. Okay, she has a 4-inch there and a 4-inch there, and oh, I see another 4 inches right here. Sorry about my circle. So she really should have another one up there, shouldn't she? And then she has a 6 inch right here. And what about 5? Oh, 1 5 and 2 5. Oh, so she has she put 3 instead of 2. Uh-oh. Well, that one shouldn't be there. So actually, what she did was, it looks like she put 3. She put 2 that were 4 inch when she should have had 3, and she put 3 that were 5 inches instead of 2 that were 5. Okay, so we just want to explain that by saying she put 2 X's for 4 inch. And 3 X's for 5 inches. She reversed them. Well, that's a quick way of saying that she switched them and got them a little mixed up. So I hope you can figure out what is right and what is wrong, and I hope that you have fun with your line plotting on our lesson 8.9. And thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with your homework, and our next lesson will be a little practice test, so we'll see you then. Okay, bye boys and girls.